Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making news this morning, that big Mega Millions drawing was last night, and now the jackpot is even bigger. We'll tell you how much bigger just ahead.
New reporting on the Department of Justice investigation into January 6th. I'm Jay O'Brien in Washington. That plus what the former president had to say on his return to D.C. coming up.
Taking a look outside. Oh, looks like that camera's a little out of focus there. It's just over the heat. It's like, you know what? I'm shutting down.
It baked the lens.
Mike will let us know if we're going to have more triple digits in just a bit.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is July 27th. Sarah is in. We're going to talk to Mike in just a moment. But first, we want to get to that lottery. No one won Mega last night. So here are the numbers: 7, 29, 60, 63, 66. Mega Ball was 15. Mega Player is 3. Now, the jackpot was $830 million, but now, according to the Texas Lottery's website, the Friday night drawing is up to $1.3 billion.
So guess they can call it Mega Billions.
Yes, they can.
Of course, that jackpot amount could go up with the volume of people that are expected to buy a ticket before then. Odds of winning are 1 in 300 million. I had my ticket on the counter this morning, and I was in such a rush. I didn't check it, and then I heard the news.
We know you didn't win.
Well, what if I won, you can win I think if you get all 5 numbers, you can get like 100,000.
No, all 5, you get $1 million.
Oh, you get $1 million. See, I could be a millionaire.
But I think I read that there were no million winners either. Anyway, here are some other numbers too. Small consolation. Maybe you want a buck or two here. Pick 3 numbers 660. That is a fireball of 2. Daily 4 numbers 1708. Fireball 5.
And daily 5.
Cash 5.
I'm sorry, cash 5. 3, 13, 16, 34, 35. Mike, I know you play the same numbers, right? You don't even do like the...
I sometimes do, but yeah, the same numbers.
What are your normal numbers?
8, 6, 7.
You're making that
5,
up.
309.
So here's the funny thing. I was driving in this morning. I knew that nobody won because the billboard on 281 went way up, but it only goes up to $999 million. So I wondered if it was $999 or if it was over $1 billion, and now I have my answer now that I watched it on the news. So
isn't this only the second time we've hit $1 billion?
I think it's about the third.
I don't know for sure.
Because I know it was like the third.
It was the third largest Mega Millions jackpot.
Yeah.
I know we've hit $1 billion in Powerball as well.
Yeah, Powerball. Because I want to say overall lottery, I think it's only the second. Because remember, there was that like 1.6 or something a couple of years ago that 3 people had split. So
I know our producer would buy us a lottery ticket if we'll move on. He didn't know we were going to spend 5 minutes on this.
He produced it this way. What do you expect? Anyway, we do have some clouds out there. And as we've been, we probably actually have better odds of seeing a little bit of rain in the next couple of days than winning the lottery. Because I know neither of them have been great. Neither of them are great odds. But 78 right now, 75 Bulverdes, 78 Stinson, Port SA. And temperatures are maybe up a degree from yesterday at this time. Dew points are up a degree from yesterday, but it really wasn't bad stepping outside this morning. We were just getting used to it. Feels like 80 right now. Heat index 82 Canyon Lake as well as over in Hondo. Mold did drop down from the previous day's reading and throughout the rest of today. 90 at noon, still going for 100. And again, now I think it's the case where that's sort of the benchmark, and it's whether we may stay below that. Obviously, this is going to be kind of cloud dependent. We'll have a couple of extra clouds around here today should they sit over the airport and maybe stay at 99, but going for 100, and also a couple of showers off to the east. We got these little waves that are trying to move in here from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to be the situation tomorrow as well. Perhaps even a slightly better chance for a shower around here by Friday. We'll talk about that. Take a look at the last weekend of July coming up in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Mark.
Mike, thank you. San Antonio police officers say they're still searching for suspects in a shooting on the east side last night. A hail of gunfire on a man's driveway. Police say he was shot at both kneecaps and in the hip. This all happened at a home on Ravenna Street. That's not too far from 410 and Rigsby. Investigators say the man had just left a car wash and pulled into his driveway when someone drove up and fired towards the man. Police believe a rifle was used in this shooting.
Now to a missing persons The San Antonio tie, investigators in Harris County want you to take a good look at this picture you can see on your screen right now. They believe Jaden Maxey may be with someone here in the San Antonio area. Jaden was seen last Saturday in Cypress. If you know where Jaden is, call the Harris County Sheriff's Office Missing Person Unit. That number on your screen right now, 713-755-7427.
4:35 right now. This morning, new reports show that the Department of Justice is investigating former President Donald Trump's role in efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest.
This morning, the Washington Post reporting that the Department of Justice is investigating former President Donald Trump's actions as part of their widening criminal probe into the January 6th Capitol attack and efforts by Trump and his allies to overturn the 2020 election. ABC News sources confirming that prosecutors have asked witnesses about Trump as well as other former officials in recent interviews before a federal grand jury. But sources say there's no indication at this point that Trump is the target of the DOJ's investigation. Attorney General Merrick Garland not ruling out prosecuting the former president even if he runs again in an interview with NBC.
We pursue justice without fear or favor. We intend to hold anyone who was criminally responsible for the events surrounding January 6th, for any attempt to interfere with the lawful transfer of power from one administration to another, accountable. That's what we do.
The House January 6th committee is conducting its own separate investigation, revealing last week evidence that shows Trump waited hours to tell his supporters to go home as rioters rampaged through the Capitol. Trump returning to Washington Tuesday for the first time since leaving office.
There is no longer respect for the law, and there certainly is no order.
In the speech, the former president also repeating his election lies. His former Vice President Mike Pence also in Washington saying he and Trump differ on the Republican Party's focus.
Now, some people may choose to focus on the past, and I believe conservatives must focus on the future.
Meanwhile, the January 6th committee has made it clear their work isn't over. The panel is gearing up for more hearings in September, and sources tell ABC News the committee is in discussions with former Trump Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to testify behind closed doors. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
President Biden will speak with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow. Comes amid tensions following reports that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is considering a visit to Taiwan. National security officials are reportedly advising Pelosi about the risk of visiting during a highly sensitive time between the self-governing island and China. Pelosi's visit, part of a broader trip to Asia, and she's invited both Democrats and Republicans to join her. If Pelosi takes the trip, it would be to visit Taiwan in a quarter century.
In the Philippines, a strong earthquake has killed at least 2 people, injured dozens, and damaged buildings. It prompted many people in the capital, including from 2 hospitals and office buildings, to run outdoors. Scientists say the 7-magnitude quake earlier this morning was centered in a mountainous area in the northern part of the country. The quake's strength was lowered from the initial 7.3 magnitude. After further analysis, scientists expected more aftershocks.
438, about 78 degrees.
Up next, both the Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans getting ready for their training camps. What Jerry Jones is saying so far about this upcoming season.
Looking for any problems via our friends over at Transguide headquarters right now with their cameras all over the city, looking live at 410 Austin Highway on the northeast side. No problems to report there.
Taking a look outside earlier, we were saying, okay, this camera is nice and clear. It's 78 degrees, 439. How hot will it get? It's going to be probably another triple-digit day. Mike will let us know when we come back.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
441, welcome back. Time for a look at morning sports. Cowboys hold their first official practice later today. It comes after the State of the Cowboys address yesterday with head coach Mike McCarthy. Cowboys VP Stephen Jones leading the way, and owner Jerry Jones not far behind. Press conference had just started when Jerry brought up what he was most sensitive about during the offseason. Reports that Jones would have a quick hook on McCarthy as his head coach if they got off to a slow start, and with both defensive coordinator Dan Quinn and former Cowboy assistant Sean Payton available.
I want to be real clear. he wouldn't be sitting here today if I didn't think he was the man to lead this team to a Super Bowl. He would not be, and I have choices. And so that's not meant to be insensitive to anybody. That's a fact.
Jerry's comments are just really in line with our conversations. You know, I obviously have the opportunity to meet with Jerry in the GM, the head coach realm, and you know, and our conversations are about partnership, direction, vision. At the end of the day, we're here to win a championship.
Are y'all taking notes on this? All right, you're writing dates down, quotes, things like that. Okay. Here's the rest of the Cowboys' schedule this week. Today is first practice, Saturday opening ceremony. Then on Sunday, KSAT Sports will be live with Jerry Jones on instant replay. Hey, over in Houston, Texas now at full strength after veterans reported to training camp at Methodist Training Facility. But unlike the Cowboys that begin workouts today, Texans don't hold their first practice till Friday. And remember, only select workouts are open to fans over in Houston. And check out how Aaron Rodgers showed up at Packers training camp yesterday, straight out of Con Air, dressed exactly like Nicolas Cage. And without question, this has gone viral. Reigning two-time NFL MVP, no stranger to different looks. The 18-year veteran also channeled Keanu Reeves from John Wick back on Halloween. Now to baseball. San Antonio Missions on the road in Midland taking on the Rockhounds. Midland got ahead after 2 big innings and took control. After trailing by 5, the Missions tried to fight back in the 8th to cut the deficit to 3 runs, but they could not complete the comeback. Rockhounds win it 7-4.
I just want him to cut his hair, maybe wash it a little.
You say that like you guys are dating.
No.
Like he's being like, okay, Sarah, I'll take it under consideration.
I'm giving him dating advice since I know he broke up with his fiance.
Correct.
I think maybe that's where the look's coming from.
I got you.
You know?
Her heart's in the right place.
Right. All right, 443 and 78 degrees. Up next, a first look at what's next for a man accused of killing his wife on their honeymoon. A Tennessee man accused of killing his wife on their honeymoon has made his first court appearance. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, honeymoon murder mystery. The man accused his wife on their honeymoon appearing before a judge.
So there are a lot of unanswered questions as to how and why.
An attorney for Christy Chen's family telling GMA the 36-year-old met Bradley Dawson last November, just months before the Memphis area couple married. He says their trip to the South Pacific was a delayed honeymoon that turned to horror.
There was a violent altercation which resulted in death.
Dawson not yet entering a plea, but ordered to remain behind bars. We'll have much more on this mystery in paradise coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
447. Here's some good news. Right now, I'm not seeing any accidents out there. Normal construction spots around, but that is to be expected as they try to knock out some of that work in the cooler and less trafficked early morning hours.
And Mike, you have a beautiful sunrise or sunset behind you.
Sunset. Into a very hot, dry day. Yes, indeed it is. And don't forget that, fall practice is getting underway. Band practice. Everybody's going to be outside a lot more. Talking about all the workers out there as well. At least it hasn't been just ridiculous in the afternoon. We've gotten a little bit of a break from the humidity. Not much, but enough to kind of help out somewhat. We do have some clear skies out there as of right now, and 79 degrees, 78 Divine, 79 also up the road in Canyon Lake, up a couple of notches. We did get down to 75 yesterday, and that was the low temperature this time of year. Don't think we're going to be dropping down there this morning. A couple of clouds hanging around here. And then, of course, we're going to make it up into the mid-upper 80s throughout the rest of the morning. 90 at noon and going for 100 today. And, of course, this is very dependent upon the cloud cover. Don't have a lot of clouds sitting right over the airport. Yeah, 100 I think is inevitable. But if we get a couple of extra clouds, obviously maybe that would stay a degree below that. Also that 10% chance for a shower or two. At least there's the chance. It's not a great chance really at all. I wouldn't count on anything. 1 or 2 of those primarily off to these. More on that in a second. 104 for the heat index later on today. So again, we'll have, yes, some humidity left over in the shade. okay, not oppressive. Obviously, that's the situation down around Cotulla. Nothing as far as any heat advisories, but obviously you still want to take it easy. All right, here's what's going on with the water vapor imagery. And this is always a great way to kind of look at the, almost like an X-ray, if you will, of the atmosphere. And we had one of these waves coming in here the other day, which didn't do anything, unfortunately. But we're looking at some more, and there's not anything real distinct in this water vapor imagery, but looking at some of these little waves, these disturbances to move on in here. So that would give us the chance for a couple of showers. Again, this computer model paints everything in with a broad brush. Does not mean we're going to be seeing that widespread of rain, but at least there's that small chance of it. Likewise, tomorrow, again, primarily to the east. Then on Friday, this one and a couple others do have perhaps a little bit better chance for a couple of these showers to sort of pop up around here. Not a great shot, but I'm going to maybe bump it up just a notch or two as far as rain chances later in the evening on Friday. But again, the overall message is don't get really excited about this, because when it's all said and done, most of us aren't going to see a drop of rain. 90 at noon. Partly cloudy skies. High temperature today up to 100. A shower primarily off to the east later on today. About the same thing tomorrow. Maybe one or two more around here on Friday in the evening hours. But again, most of us won't see any rain. Still triple-digit temperatures, and we continue to rack them up. So everything goes forecast-wise 50 days of 100 degrees by Friday.
Anything else way out there? Tropics, Atlantic, dust, I mean, anything whatsoever?
Nothing that the Hurricane Center is looking at right now. There's a nice little batch of Africa yesterday, but nothing right now.
Yeah. Well, we know things start to ramp up a little bit more as we get into August and September.
Yeah, tropical-wise, the peak of the season, second week of September. So we'll just have to wait and see. So
I'm counting what, like 60 more days until mid-September?
Instead of the Thanksgiving and Halloween countdowns, it's like what?
Yeah.
Down to
just
maybe
I'll
kind of
take,
sort of
yeah,
where the
anything
first
that's like
is.
92. 92 would be nice.
We'll be right there in the early afternoon, so.
It's not enough.
Thank you, Mike. 451, about 78 degrees.
Up next, the latest on the health status of a classic Leave It to Beaver star.
454, a classic Leave It to Beaver star is still alive, and several musicians are nominated for this year's MTV Video Music Awards.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Matt Wolf.
Well, gee, Dad, I wouldn't hold it against a guy just because he wears short pants.
Reports of the death of Tony Dow, best known for his signature role as Wally Cleaver in the TV sitcom classic Leave It to Beaver, appear to be inaccurate. In an interview with KABC in Los Angeles, Dow's wife says the 77-year-old actor is in hospice, still alive. Multiple outlets reported his passing earlier Tuesday. The Facebook post by his management team that announced his death has been taken down. Dow was diagnosed in May with a recurrence of cancer. Kendrick Lamar, Lil Nas X, and Jack Harlow leading the pack with 7 nominations each for the 2022 MTV Video Music Awards.
Take off from fabricated dreams and the microwave memes. It's a real world outside.
Lamar's up for Best Hip Hop Video for N95. Doja Cat and Harry Styles getting 6 nominations each. Madonna's got a nod too from Adam X. The VMAs happen August 28th.
This is Jeopardy!
Double jeopardy for Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik. Word is they'll continue to split hosting duties on the long-running game show Jeopardy. According to Deadline, they're in the process of finalizing their deals. And Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez, better known as A-Rod, is 47 Wednesday. Matt Wolf, ABC News.
It's 456 and 78 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA, a state of emergency has been declared in parts of the Pacific Northwest due to extreme heat. At the same time, we'll tell you where one person lost their life due to historic flooding.
Plus, we'll tell you how much it will cost you to take home a giant crab listed for sale on Home Depot's website. That's coming up in Tech Bites.
Right now, Mike's doing the math in his head to see if that'll fit in part of his front yard. And taking a look outside with Trans Guy, Justin is in for Stephen this morning. We'll talk with him and kind of get a recap of how things are looking so far on the roads when we come back.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And making headlines this morning, the Uvalde City Council takes another step to asking Governor Greg Abbott to change existing gun laws.
And as we get ready for another 100-degree day in Texas, many in the Pacific Northwest are now under a state of emergency due to high heat.
Same song, 48th verse. We're down to about 78 degrees at 5 o'clock in the morning. Pretty typical summer pattern remains locked in place. And good morning to you. It's Wednesday, July 27th.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy to be here filling in for Steph this morning.
I'm glad you're here too. Let's go straight over to Mike and get an update on what's happening right now.
Yeah, 47th verse yesterday, 48 today. We're going to continue to rack up the triple-digit temperatures. There is a small chance for a couple of showers. At least there is that small chance. But as we've been kind of saying almost all summer long, don't get really excited about rain chances, because when it's all said and done, the majority of us won't see a drop of rain. 79 right now, and we've got the dew point at 72, that bottom number. So that's actually up, so is the temperature a little bit compared to this time yesterday. 100 for a high temperature later on this afternoon, and the aquifer in yesterday's reading did drop down a foot. So we had gained some over the weekend and then dropped the day before yesterday as well as yesterday, so down an entire foot. And of course, check with your local municipality as far as any watering restrictions. Mold is on the low side. That actually did go down from yesterday's reading, or the previous day's reading, I should say. We do have a little bit of a heat index right now, so 79 feels like 82 when you step outside, 81 at Castroville, 82 also Stinson, and warm, humid. Yeah, got some clouds hanging around here, our usual sort of morning clouds. 100, a shower off to these couple of extra clouds around here, and again, count them on one hand, basically, and pretty much the same thing tomorrow. Then we get into the weekend, and I think we have a little bit better chance, albeit still small, but a little bit better chance for a couple of showers around here later Friday evening, and then it is just going to stay hot in through the rest of the weekend. So we'll continue to chalk up those triple-digit temperatures. Closer look at the weekend forecast is coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Justin Horn. Good morning, sir. Anything going on yet?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Nothing like yesterday. It's we're off to a quiet start. We're looking at most of the roadways here, looking pretty quiet. All in all, we've got just a little bit of traffic there at I-35 in Maine. We had an accident a little bit earlier at the Y. That was quickly cleaned up though, so that hasn't caused really any issues. 410 Austin Highway looks good. I was watching 410 at Ingram a little bit earlier, and they had some construction there. It was slowing traffic down. That's been cleaned up, so that looks good there. Traffic is moving along just fine. I'll show you the map. Everything looks green. You notice that one, what looks like a crash down there on the southwest side. That is not a crash. That is a house fire, and Jonathan Cotho is going to have the latest from what's going on down there. But there is a police presence, or at least some fire trucks down there, so be careful if you're traveling in that direction. This is mostly in the neighborhood, though. Most of the freeways look good, as I mentioned. Yesterday was a quiet day. Let's hope today works out the same way, guys.
Let's get to it. Justin, thank you. Late breaking news now, as Justin just mentioned, San Antonio Fire Department responding to a house fire in a southwest side neighborhood.
This happening near Kelly Field. Our Jonathan Cotho joins us live from the scene. Now, Jonathan, what's the latest?
Good morning, Sarah. Well, right now, firefighters were able to quickly knock down a fire located here on the 5600 block of Stony Brook Drive. We're not too far from Medina Base Road and Old Pearsall Road. This is near Loop 410. But I'm going to move out of the way that we can take a closer look at what's left of this home. We know San Antonio Fire Department responded shortly after 3 o'clock this morning. They say luckily nobody was in the house when they arrived, but the home was fully engulfed in flames. They were met with no challenges here this morning. Again, they were able to quickly put this fire out. And the good news here, again, as I mentioned, nobody was home at the time of this fire, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Reporting live from the city's southwest side, Jonathan Cotho, KSAT 12 News.
Jonathan, thank you for the update, sir. The Uvalde City Council has unanimously passed a resolution asking Texas Governor Greg Abbott to call for a special session to change existing gun laws. The resolution is exactly what we've seen county commissioners and the Uvalde School Board pass. Asked for the minimum age to buy semi-automatic assault-style weapons to be raised from 18 to 21. However, the resolution was met with skepticism from City Councilman Hector Luvano, who does not believe Abbott will actually call for a special session, but some are more optimistic.
The shooting that happened in Uvalde was on May 24th, a Tuesday. On that following Friday, 2-3 days later, he was on the big screen addressing the NRA in Houston, Texas.
Texas is a pro-life state, but we should be a pro-all-life state. We should consider children, teachers, the elderly, and that's very important. It's a step, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
We emailed the governor's office last night after the meeting asking if these resolutions will prompt a special session. So far, we have not gotten a response yet. If a special session isn't called, Garza said they'll make their voices heard in the regular session coming up in January.
Now to an update on a story we first broke here on GMSA earlier this week. Multiple break-ins are leaving San Antonio card shop owners thousands of dollars short and worried it'll happen again. Sports Cards Plus off Lock Hill Selma was broken into early Monday morning. The owner says just a week before, suspects tried cutting through his metal door but weren't able to get in. And back in April, Boomtown Sports and Collectibles was also broken into. Both owners say the thieves got away with upwards of $20,000 in each incident. The owners add that tracking those items is nearly impossible.
It's not good for our hobby. It's not good for the communities. It's just not good at all. I mean, it's really scary.
Cards that I bought a year ago for like $15,000 are now $80,000, $90,000.
Both places have beefed up security. Boomtown now has a 24-hour video surveillance, and Sports Cards Plus has added an armed guard for after hours. As for the suspects, SAPD has not made any arrests. However, Sports Card Plus and Crime Stoppers are now offering a $20,000 reward.
The coronavirus continues to be an issue for San Antonio. Metro Health is confirming 778 new cases. No new deaths were reported. So far, 342 COVID patients are in the hospital. Doctors say the new variants of the virus are more contagious. However, vaccines are limiting the seriousness of the disease.
A reminder, our KSAT community partners are holding a vaccine phone bank today. It will be your chance to call and ask about vaccines. As students prepare to go back to school, we'll have University Health here to answer your questions. The phone bank is from 5 to 7 this evening. We'll also share that number a little bit later on air and online.
Well, yet another rare weather event unfolding here in the U.S. Daily high temperatures in the Pacific Northwest are hitting 20 degrees above normal.
Governor of Oregon has declared a state of emergency. It comes after historic flooding in St. Louis. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has a story.
This morning, millions of Americans in the Pacific Northwest are bracing for a lingering heat wave. The governor of Oregon declaring a state of emergency in 25 counties. Portland is expected to remain in the high 90s through the rest of the week.
They've opened cooling centers here in the Portland area. This could go down as their longest heat wave on record.
An excessive heat warning is in effect in Seattle, Washington, where just 44% of residents have air conditioning. The city's first responders saying the heat has kept them busier than ever.
There were more 911 calls to 911 for aid in King County than we've ever seen in the history of since we've been keeping records.
More triple-digit temperatures are expected today in Texas. The heat, along with extreme drought, is making every spark a danger. Authorities believe a grass-cutting crew ignited this fire outside Dallas, which damaged more than 25 homes. In California, the Oak Fire has now burned more than 18,000 acres, along with 42 homes.
You see crews taking this tree down right now. They had to. It suffered so much fire damage. It was a threat to any car driving down this road. In fact, firefighters call those trees widowmakers.
Meanwhile, at least one person has died from historic flooding near St. Louis after more than a foot of rain fell in some areas in less than 12 hours.
911 is on the way. Hold on, man. Hold on.
More than 100 people were rescued across the St. Louis region as roads and apartment buildings flooded, and this train almost completely underwater. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
5:08 on your Wednesday morning, about 78 degrees.
Still ahead, we'll tell you when Twitter will vote on the company's $44 billion acquisition by Elon Musk.
Up next, how two UTSA professors are trying to preserve a unique style of music here in San Antonio.
78 degrees at 5:09 this morning. Mike will talk about how hot and hot and hot and hot it's going to be the next several days. We'll be right back.
512, welcome back. Two UTSA professors want to preserve the music through the West Side Sound Oral History Project. In case you don't know, the West Side Sound is a type of music first popped up here in the 1950s.
It uses horned instruments, guitar and drums, and fuses music like jazz, R&B, and Tejano music. The two UTSA professors have already interviewed more than 10 local artists, including Little Henry Lee, who continues to perform at a West Side bar.
Henry Lee was one of the successful folks to have been around for the West Side Sound in the 60s and actually traveled everywhere and was able to perform all across the United States and even beyond. So it's really cool that he was around during the time. We were able to interview him about his experiences, and he continues to share that music with the community here at Hymas.
The two UTSA professors working on this project want to hear from you. If you have any memories or information you want to share about this, email them at westsidesoundproject@gmail.com. You can see that on your screen, and we'll also have that email, I'm sure, on our website.
513, still 78 degrees.
Well, still ahead, a first look at the newest color option on Samsung's Galaxy S22 smartphone.
And online shoppers are baffled by a giant crab for sale on Home Depot's website. We'll tell you how much it'll cost you to take it home.
Welcome to Allstate, where anyone who bundles their home and auto insurance saves. Isn't that right, Phil?
Sorry, I'm a little busy.
What in the world are you doing?
I'm in the metaverse, bundling my home and auto insurance.
Why don't you just do that in the real world?
Because now I can bundle in space. Watch this.
I still don't get it. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
When it's go time, I don't let constipation stop me.
New great-tasting Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites work naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. So you can go fast, go gently, and go on with life. New Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites put you comfortably in control.
Itchy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. It just cleans better, so your family can use less.
Hello, clean bottom.
The joy to go with Charmin.
Just about 517, despite other headlines, Twitter has set a date for its shareholders to vote on a buyout from Elon Musk. ABC's Mona Kasar Abdi has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Twitter is moving forward with its deal with Elon Musk. Shareholders will hold a vote in September to approve the $44 billion offer from Musk. Twitter's board had urged shareholders to okay the deal, but that was before Musk said he was backing out. Twitter filed a lawsuit against Musk to follow through with the takeover. Samsung has unveiled a new for its Galaxy S22. It's called Bora Purple. The company says Bora is the Korean word for purple, so the name is effectively Purple Purple. The purple phone will be available in 2 weeks for just under $800. Finally, online shoppers are baffled by Home Depot selling this giant king crab statue on its website. It's 6 feet wide, and it's meant to, quote, transform any home, garden, or restaurant into something truly magnificent. The price tag is $1,500. Those are your Tech Bites.
All right, are you in?
No, I'm not in because it doesnn't do anything.
It doesn't, the crab doesn't move.
Our producer sent me the description from Home Depot. It's just basically easily spotted in deep seas or in your party room, or it can transform any home, garden, restaurant, or hotel into something truly magnificent.
It's just going to burn your grass.
That's also true.
I mean, our grass is already burnt right
I was going to say, what grass is left at this point?
Right.
Let's check on traffic, 518.
No, it doesn't work if you're pinching pennies, if you get my drift. Let's look at gas prices. Speaking of pinching pennies, Bexar County is at $3.70 for the average gas price. Texas is at $3.81. These numbers are all dropping, by the way, which is fantastic news. For the country as a whole, it's $4.30. So these numbers are on the way down. That's what we like to see. And as we go outside for you with TransGuide I-35 Loop 410, looks good. Traffic is flowing along nicely. We had a good morning yesterday. Not a lot of accidents, and that seems to be the trend so far today, knock on wood. 410 at Callahan looks good there too. A couple other pictures here. 35 at Maine, all flowing nicely. And again, we haven't picked up on any incidents other than that house fire there in neighborhood on the southwest side. Everything's flowing as it should with posted speeds this morning, guys.
Pinching pennies.
I tried.
Justin gets the Jim Burt Award today. Hey, Mike.
Yes, he is very good at dad
What an
jokes.
honor.
He is. Morning,
Not as
Justin's
good as
got a
you,
slew of
Mike.
dad
Not
jokes.
as good as you, Mike.
By the way, Mike, if you
Yes.
want to finance this crab, 6-month payments are about $257 a month.
Oh,
okay?
not bad.
If you'd
right?
like to.
Again, the thing is, 12, 15?
$1,539.
Yep.
And it doesn't do anything.
No.
He's still going to get it.
No, well, the lawn is dying, like we were just talking about, but the clouds are beautiful. Yes, indeed, beautiful blue skies, as long as you're sitting in the shade, like Diane was. Thank you for the KSAT Connects picture. So a couple of clouds are hanging around here this morning. We'll have a few of them as the morning rolls on. And looking ahead to the weekend, it's looking like we're getting some more Saharan dust to move on in here. We haven't had any for really a while, but starting overnight Friday into Saturday, some of that's going to start to move on in here. So we will have kind of a hazy looking weekend with those sunrises and especially the sunsets extra vibrant, I guess, because of the some of that Saharan dust out there. And then it should be getting on out of here by later on in the weekend. Temperatures are going to be, we're at 79 right now. We'll drop a degree maybe. Not quite as cool as yesterday, 75. That was the normal low temperature, not necessarily cool, but lower than what it is right now. And we'll make it into the upper 80s and then low 90s already by early afternoon. Already by 2 o'clock, we're going to be at or slightly, well, actually at the normal high temperature of 96, and then add to that getting up to 100. Got a 10% chance for a stray shower or two. We've got these waves coming in here. We've been talking about this for the past couple of days, how we'll get at least somewhat of a flow coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, and that may touch off a couple of showers around the area. Don't get really excited about rain chances. There'll be one or two of them primarily to the east today. Same thing tomorrow. And then Friday, now this particular model does have a slightly better chance for a couple of these showers, especially moving into Friday evening. Again, it's nice to see that on the computer models. Yes, there will be a few of them out there, but this is not going to be any huge rain event by any stretch. But again, at least there'll be a couple of them there. 90 at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature then is going to make it up to 100, and one or two of those showers primarily off to the east. And the next few days, still looking at triple-digit temperatures. Couple of showers here and there, mainly off to the east. You know, you hate to qualify it, but say most of us won't see a drop of rain even over the next 3 days. And then, yeah, more triple digits going into the weekend and the 1st of August on Monday. Can't believe that already.
Birthday's next week.
I know.
Happy birthday in advance.
You too, sir.
Thank you. 522, 78 degrees.
Up next in your morning spotlight, Catherine Tate brings her Nan character to the big screen and a first look at the Gray Man universe.
A cantankerous old lady arrives in theaters, and a spy film expands to more than a franchise.
CNN's David Daniel explains in today's Hollywood Minute.
Now listen up, millennials.
Where's my knife? Catherine Tate's Nan is storming the big screen. The Nan movie is a full-length feature about the character Tate developed on her comedy sketch show and then in several spin-off specials.
I started playing her when I was, far too young to know what an old lady would be doing. And my intention is to carry on doing it until I no longer need the prosthetic.
The Nan movie is now in theaters.
You hurt? I mean, my ego's a little bruised.
Maybe this will help. Netflix is going all in on The Gray Man. The streamer has announced it's developing a sequel to the action movie with star Ryan Gosling and directors Joe and Anthony Russo set to return, as well as a spin-off film exploring more of the Gray Man universe. Yep, it's not just a franchise, it's a whole universe. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Still on my watch list. Didn't get to it yet.
Me neither.
Justin said it's pretty good.
Justin said it's good. It's probably good.
526, about 78 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA, the Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates today, what that means for inflation and your wallet.
Plus, how McDonald's is still seeing good sales despite inflation and a rise in some of their menu prices.
Plus, in the middle of this heat, a pet is here from the Animal Defense League looking for a cool place to call home.
And later, ahead on GMSA at 6, have you ever tried a do-it-yourself project and failed miserably?
Yes.
Well, we have some ways you might be able to fix those badly done DIY jobs around your house. Making headlines this morning, the Fed looking to raise interest rates yet again amid an ongoing trend of inflation and a huge fear of a recession.
78 degrees at 5:30 this morning. It's just kind of on repeat now, triple digits. Mike will have our forecast in just a bit.
Hey, good morning to you. It is Wednesday. It is July 27th.
Good morning. Hey, no one won last night's Mega Millions drawing, but here are the numbers: 7, 29, 60, 63, 66. That Mega Ball is 15. Mega Plier is 3. It was at $830 million, but now, according to Texas Lottery, Friday night's drawing is up to $1.03 billion.
Of course, that jackpot amount could go up with the volume of people expected to buy tickets before then. Odds of winning are 1 in 300 million. The new estimated jackpot would be the nation's 4th largest lottery prize ever. Good luck.
Good luck. I bought a couple of tickets. I didn't check them to see if I won even, sometimes you win $9.
You do? You can.
I could have $9.
Let's check with our frequent lottery player, Mike Osterhage. How's it going over there? How are you dealing with
not winning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
How many tickets did you buy?
Couple.
Couple?
Okay.
Is that like 5, 6?
No, couple.
Are you gonna buy more than you normally would in anticipation of this huge jackpot Friday?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. So, you throw in one of those quick picks here every once in a while.
Sure. Let us know. And again, if you want to share those numbers, just for everybody, for the greater good, let us know.
867-5309.
Okay.
What's your phone number? Anyway, there's a plane coming in for a landing and obviously sliding down to the southeast, heading in that direction. That's the way the winds are coming in out of the southeast right now. Not a huge breeze out there, but just about 7 miles per hour right now. 79 is current temperature. Dew point stands at 72. So we do have some humidity out there as of right now, and temperatures all around the metropolitan area. Well, right around Randolph is the cool spot, if you will, at 75, 77 Kelly, and 79 there at Stinson. Mold is on the low side, did come down from the previous day's reading, and throughout the rest of today, 90 at noon, 100 high temperature. Couple of showers off to the east. There is that small chance. Very small chance, most of us won't see anything, but at least there is that shot at some rain. Same thing tomorrow, perhaps a little bit better chance by Friday. We'll talk about that and closer look at the last weekend of July. We're going to chalk up triple digits every single day except for one. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, what's the very latest, Justin?
Mike is an 80s music fan. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That play on numbers. Let's go outside for you with TransGuide. There is not much going on. It's been pretty remarkable the last couple of days how quiet it has been. Look, we'll take it. That's what we want. Everyone being safe on the roads, and everything's pretty much moving at posted speeds here. This is 90 at 36th. Looks good. I was just looking at 1604 and Pat Booker. Just like yesterday, they've had a few construction vehicles come through. It was slowing traffic down for a minute, but those have moved along. So everything's back to where it was. And everywhere else that I'm seeing here on TransGuide looks good. So we'll go over to the map. And looks like green all the way around. So no big slowdowns. Now we have our construction areas that we know of, especially along 1604 on the north side. You have some construction at a few places near downtown. And then as you go south along places like 281, a little bit of construction. But nothing that's huge. And there is that one incident reporting this morning, Jonathan Cotto, at a house fire that may cause some issues if you're traveling in that neighborhood, but nothing on the main lanes of any of our highways this morning, guys.
We have more on that. Justin, thank you very much. Updating that late breaking news. San Antonio fire crews have been at a house fire in that southwest side neighborhood.
This happening near Kelly. Our Jonathan Cotto joins us live from the scene. Jonathan, what's the latest?
Good morning, Sarah. Well, most of the fire crews have left the scene, with the exception of fire investigators that are still walking through this home, trying to determine exactly what caused this fire here this morning. Right now, we're located on the 5600 block just between Medina Road Base and Old Pearsall Road, not too far from Loop 410. But let's take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. We know San Antonio Fire Department responded to this home just after 3 o'clock this morning. They say when they arrived, this house was fully engulfed in flames. But the good news here this morning is that this house was vacant. Nobody was inside, therefore no injuries were reported. Sarah, I can tell you that, again, the investigators are here on scene. They are canvassing this house, trying to determine and pinpoint exactly what or who caused this fire here this morning. Reporting live from the city's southwest side, Jonathan, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. 5:35, 6 weeks after raising interest rates by 0.75 of a point, the Federal Reserve is expected to hike rates again today. Same amount.
As CNN's John Lawrence reports, analysts say this is an attempt to cool inflation as fears of recession loom over the nation.
Many Americans may want to keep clipping coupons and pinching pennies.
I got my coins, I got my dollars, and my credit card. I'm filling to the top. I got $dollars for the food.
Prices at the pump are falling in the U.S. GasBuddy.com says the national average is down more than 58 cents from last month's average, but costs for many other everyday items are climbing.
I think there's a real sense that this out-of-control economy is about to go over a cliff.
However, the Biden administration doesn't see the glass as half empty, citing strong numbers in jobs and manufacturing.
We're seeing industrial output sustain and in positive territory 5 of the last 6 months. And so the totality of the economic data is consistent with that type of transition and is not consistent with a recession.
But the International Monetary Fund has lowered its global economic forecast through 2023, in part because of predicted slowdowns in the U.S.
We see the path as narrowing, not necessarily one where a recession becomes part of the baseline, but the realization of risks could certainly take us there.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The U.S. Senate has advanced a bill that could help the manufacturing sector deal with its chip shortage. Senators took a key vote on legislation that would boost semiconductor chip production in the U.S. The bill would set up incentives for domestic semiconductor manufacturing, research and development. It would also give more than $50 billion in funding to the initiative. The move is supposed to make the U.S. less reliant on other countries such as China for manufacturing. The Senate is expected to vote on final passage of the bill this week.
Former Vice President Mike Pence has a book coming out soon. It's a memoir, so it'll cover his life and his faith. The publisher says it'll also cover, quote, President Trump's severing of the relationship on January 6th in 2021 when Pence kept his oath to the Constitution, end quote. Ahead of the attack on the U.S. Capitol, former President Donald Trump pressured Pence to reject the 2020 presidential election results. The book is set to be released on November 15th.
A 102-year-old World War II veteran has received the highest civilian honor presented by the U.S. Congress. Catherine Romay Johnson Davis was presented the Congressional Gold Medal at Montgomery City Hall in Alabama yesterday. Davis served in a segregated mail unit in Europe during the war. The battalion labored through incredibly difficult conditions to cut down on a backlog of mail. The delayed delivery was affecting morale on the front lines. Davis is the oldest of 6 living members of that battalion. Congratulations.
Congratulations, well deserved. I love that story. I've watched a whole story on it. It's fascinating.
Right now, 5:38, about 78 degrees.
Still ahead, why lots of Instagram users, they're not happy with changes recently made to the popular social media app.
And up next, details on a new prosthetic system that could be a game changer for amputees.
78 degrees at 5:38 this morning. There's that out of focus camera. Don't worry, that's the camera, not your eyes. Mike will have our forecast when we come back.
5:41, there are as many as 2 million amputees in the United States, and losing a limb can be an unfortunate result of severe diabetes as well as trauma in war zones.
And many have difficulty either getting or wearing prosthetics. Ursula Perry talks more about a new procedure that's making a world of a difference.
31-year-old Brock Potts feels at home working with his hands, but standing was painful until recently. Potts is a survivor of childhood cancer of the bone. During treatment as a teen, Potts suffered a life-threatening infection.
Amputated me above the knee,
because the infection, it was growing so rapidly.
For most of a decade, Pot's old prosthetics rubbed against his residual leg until it was raw.
Every step I took, it was a stinging, burning, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Dr. Joel Mayerson had a solution, a new prosthetic procedure.
Osseointegration allows us to put a metal bar inside someone's bone.
Surgeons then carefully close the area around the bar to prevent infection, leaving a small connection exposed.
Instead of having a socket like a shoe, we can have a prosthetic leg just snap on the same way that you would snap a drill bit into a drill.
There's nothing touching the outside of my leg like there was that socket giving me blisters, so this is a whole new feeling.
Pot said he's used to beating the odds. After 30 rounds of chemo, doctors told him he'd be infertile. Now he's the head of a full household, aged 9 months to 9 years.
I faced doctors saying I couldn't have kids. Now it's 5, and then that's quits for me.
Dr. Mayerson says that this surgery can be combined with another one, a nerve surgery that adds specialized electrical connections. It would allow prosthetic limbs to have a more intuitive movement. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
543, still 78 degrees.
Up next, the Animal Defense League, here with a pet that needs a new home.
Julie's here from the Animal Defense League, and who is this little guy?
This handsome boy is Vigo, and he is 16 years old.
Wow, you are, yes, but age is nothing but just experience, right?
Right,
As they say.
it's just a number. He is totally healthy.
With your beautiful white hair, even though you were born with that, yes.
Yeah, little kisses. He's a good walker. I mean, he's super, super healthy. Nothing wrong with him. He's ready to go. I mean, he's so easy. He's house trained.
Great little TV watching buddy on the couch.
Yes,
you know, he's perfect for that.
He's going to be one of those pets that just transitions into the home really easily, like no fuss, no muss.
He'll find his warm spot, his bowl of food, and then give him the TV remote, and he'll be all set. So, what you got going on?
Well, we're really excited. We've been holding monthly mobile wellness clinics since January, so one a month. And so our next one is on July 30th at Woodlawn Lake Park from 9 to 11 a.m. before it gets really hot.
Okay.
So we invite the public to come out and bring your pets. It's mostly for underserved areas. So they're completely no cost, but we're providing vaccines, microchipping, and even some flea and tick medication.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you'd like more information about that, of course, you can head over to their website and find it, of course, on our website, or go out to 11300 Nacogdoches or the Paul Jolly Center across from the zoo, or the PetSmart over there on Four Winds. 3 different places where you can adopt all these guys, just like little Mr. Vigo here.
Yes, Mr. Handsome.
Yes. Or adltexas.org. Thank you, dear.
How do you follow that?
I know.
Well, of course, a reminder, if it's too hot outside, it's too hot for your pets, too. San Antonio Animal Care Service says it's seen more than a 20% increase in neglect calls, primarily tied to the extreme heat.
It's going to be fall pretty soon, believe it or not. The weather will improve and you'll be able to go out and have a good time with the dog. It's better to stay home now.
Yep, just stay inside. Pets should also not be left or put in the back of a pickup truck ever, as the bed can get extremely hot. Try to take them for walks early in the morning or late in the afternoon, more like evening, when the pavement is finally starting to cool down.
In your morning consumer headlines, Instagram is facing criticism over users over some of the recent changes to the platform. So the app has made changes to compete with popular social media platform TikTok. Instagram has started showing users more recommended content from accounts they don't follow, prioritizing video content and testing new features like full screen posts. Critics say the change is difficult for content creators who came to the app to share photos. The head of Instagram says they are listening to those complaints.
Higher prices at McDonald's are not keeping people from buying Big Macs and Quarter Pounders. McDonald's just reported a 3.7% jump in sales in its second quarter. That's despite higher prices on the menu. The chain attributes those jump in prices to to those higher prices, as well as value offerings on its regular menu and through its app. McDonald's says it's also been trying to take the edge off prices through freebie giveaways and celebrity-driven collaborations.
Mike just looked at me and said, a Quarter Pounder with cheese. So good.
And putting in your order now?
Sometimes you get a craving. Yeah. Same.
5:49 on your Wednesday morning.
Well, if you are headed out to get a quarter pounder this time of morning, what's that?
Up, bring us one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring all of us one. We'll take it. I want to show you 410 at Starcrest because there's no issue here, but I was looking at 410 because we are getting a report of a spell that perhaps may be causing some issues here, although we're not seeing that on TransGuide. Let me show you the map. And again, I think this is around 410 and Nacogdoches. We're getting a report of maybe something spilled on the road there. Although we're not, as I said, we're not getting any indications that things are slowing down at all there along 410. We'll keep an eye out for it. Otherwise, the rest of the roads are looking good. We'll go back to TransGuide here and put it back on some of these other roads. 37 Jones Avenue, 410 and Austin Highway. Looks good there. And one more shot. We'll look at 410 at Starcrest, which we just looked at. If there is an issue there, we're not seeing it on the camera. 90 at Meadow Creek. Looks good too, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Yes. Who's going to talk first over there? So.
We're just going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to let you just pick it up and run.
Just run with it.
Yes, sir.
Clouds look like fireworks display. Sort of. I like that. I'll tell you one thing, it's hotter than a firecracker out there. So thank you very much. Yeah, beautiful. We had some blue skies, some clouds, probably a couple of extra clouds hanging around here later on this afternoon. We've got a few of them right now. And so far this month, every single day has been above normal, and all of these reds you could also put them in as far as being triple-digit temperatures, except for the 15th. That was the only day that we had a below normal low temperature and a day that did not stay or that did not hit 100 degrees. But every other day we've been at 100, and the forecast is obviously for above normal temperatures through the end of the month, through Sunday, as well as I think I would put money on the fact that we are going to be hitting triple digits every day except one day this month, back on the 15th. So more triple digits throughout the forecast. A couple of clouds hanging around here this morning. We'll be up to 80 at 8 o'clock, and then upper 80s by late morning. The sun will obviously start to break through more of those clouds. 90 at noon and 100 high temperature today. We are going to be seeing a 10% chance for a couple of showers out there. Most of those are going to be off to the east. So here's what's going on. And again, this is one of those computer models that kind of paints things in with a sort of a broad brush. This one is not really even showing much of anything by later on this afternoon, but there will be a couple of them out there, one or two of them by tomorrow afternoon. And then you go into Friday and yeah, perhaps a slightly better shot. And again, this is not rain everywhere, just kind of that chance here and there. Unfortunately, most of us won't see any rain, but like I said, that slightly better chance going into Friday evening as far as a stray shower or two. As far as the tropics, once again, nothing going on out there. We've got a fairly decent area of clouds. Disturbance may be coming off the coast of Africa, shooting across the Atlantic Ocean. But again, nothing that the Hurricane Center is raising an eyebrow at as of right now. But of course, the peak of the season comes in about a month and a half, right toward the second week of September. 90 at noon, partly cloudy skies, and then a high temperature makes it up to 100 today. One or two of those showers off to the east. Few and far between. Same thing tomorrow. I'm going to bump it up just ever so slightly as far as a rain chance Friday evening, but still, most of us won't see anything out there, 10 to 20%. And then just a kind of a hazy weekend with some of that Saharan dust, and still triple digits through July and into August.
Okay, so a little bump on Friday.
Yeah, again, don't get excited about rain chances.
Tiny bump.
Tiny bump, yeah.
Thank you very much, Mike. 5:53, about 78 degrees.
Justin has been keeping an eye on the roads all morning. We really haven't had any incidents out there. It's been a really nice, easy morning. Hopefully it'll stay like that. But if anything pops up, we'll let you know about it.
A reminder, if you're looking for a part-time job, the Alamo Dome looking to fill several positions. They're planning to hold a Dome Draft job fair in August. Jobs include box office attendant, security, and work at concession stands. You can take a look at all the details right now on KSAT.com. Our KSAT community partners are holding a vaccine phone bank later today. It'll be your chance to call and ask about vaccines as students prepare to go back to class. We'll have university health experts here to answer your questions. The phone bank is from 5 to 7 this evening. We will share the number a little bit later on air and also online. Well, ahead in the next hour, GMSA, we've got the very latest from Oxnard, California, where our sports crew is bringing us coverage from Cowboys training camp. The first official practice kicks off later today. And crews are still trying to figure out what sparked an early morning house fire on the city's southwest side. We'll tell you if anyone was hurt. Justin is keeping tabs on traffic for you, and Mike has your full forecast coming up, including a small chance at rain as we take a look as he's working on his maps right now. We'll be right back. Now at 6, flames tear through a southwest side home just hours ago. Jonathan Cotto standing by with the latest from investigators.
Plus, Uvalde's call to action, what they are asking from the governor, and who is saying they want to investigate every city police officer who responded to that shooting.
And lots of people talking about last night's Mega Millions drawing. Here are the numbers: 7, 29, 60, 63, 66, Mega Ball 15, Mega Flyer 3. It was $830 million up for grabs. So now, according to Texas Lottery, Friday night's drawing is up to more than $1 billion.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
It's that big. We got a out of her. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 27th. Thanks for being here, Sarah.
Oh, so happy to be here. If I would have won the Mega Millions, do you show up to work the next day?
You have to keep up all appearances possible. We've had this conversation before. Mike Osterhage.
See, he says yes. I'm always just I'm just like, I think I'd be so overwhelmed in emotion. I don't know if I'd be able to be in the right headspace to come to work.
But also you want to make sure you don't quit before the check clears.
Oh, but I mean, if it's there, it's.
Somebody has thought this through quite a bit.
A lot. You have your financial attorney and your financial guy all lined up.
You said you keep up appearances?
If at all possible, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't come riding in a new Ferrari next week or something, so.
You could do that, but it's not advised.
Then people are going to go, Mark, where'd you get the money for that? So anyway, we've got some clouds out there right now, and mold is on the low side at 320. It had come down yesterday from the previous day's reading when it was up moderate levels. And as far as the forecast throughout the rest of today, we are in the upper 70s right now. We're going to stay in the upper 70s. A few morning clouds hanging around here. And then, of course, we're going to see a lot more sunshine as the afternoon or as the morning rolls on, and then get up into the 90-degree range at noon, then add 10 degrees to that. We've hit 47 times. We've hit 100. And we're going to hit it again today. And there's also going to be a very small chance, really small chance for a stray shower or two off to the east. Same thing tomorrow, maybe a little bit better chance later Friday. Wouldn't get too excited about this. We have the weekend forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Here's a hint, more triple digits. That's coming up. Time saver traffic authority. Wow, every once in a while I just...
It's okay.
Justin, help.
Mike, I disagree with you. I think you fall off the grid. You just disappear.
Amen to that.
So nobody knows until you cash the check. Anyway, 410 and Ingram, not a lot there. Traffic has been pretty slow this morning. As I've said the last couple of times here, the last couple of mornings have been really pretty quiet. I-10 and Callahan, traffic flowing normally. 410 at Cherry Ridge, same story. The map shows us that we are detecting some sort of spill here along 410 and Nacogdoches, but doing some research here, I haven't seen anything that's on the cameras or anything that's causing any slowdowns. So just be advised, but I really don't think that's a problem at all. And we had that house fire that we've been covering this morning as well that may cause a few slowdowns on the southwest side. But in general, good morning commute if you're heading out the door right now, and it looks to stay that way. If anything changes, we'll let you know, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Developing now, crews investigating an early morning house fire on the southwest side of town. That scene unfolding on Stony Brook Drive near Medina Base Road and Kelly Field. Jonathan Cotto has been staying on top of the story all morning long for us and has the latest from investigators.
Good morning, Mark and Sarah. The scene is clear here now, with the exception of investigators that are walking through this house, trying to pinpoint exactly what or who caused this fire. But let's take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. We know San Antonio Fire Department responded just after 3 o'clock this morning to this house, fully engulfed in flames. Now, crews on scene said they were able to quickly knock down those flames, and luckily this house was vacant, therefore no injuries were reported. Again, investigators are on scene trying to pinpoint exactly what caused the fire here this morning, but of course this fire remains under investigation. Reporting from the city's southwest side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. The Uvalde City Council has unanimously passed a resolution asking Governor Greg Abbott to call for a special session to change existing gun laws.
The resolution exactly what we've seen county commissioners and the Uvalde School Board pass. It asks for a minimum age to buy semi-automatic assault weapons to be raised from 18 to 21.
However, the resolution was met with skepticism from City Councilman Hector Levenol, who does not believe Abbott will actually call for the special session, but some are more optimistic.
The shooting that happened in Uvalde was on May 24th, a Tuesday. On that following Friday, 2-3 days later, he was on the big screen addressing the NRA in Houston, Texas.
Texas is a pro-life state, but we should be a pro-all-life state. We should consider children, teachers, the elderly, and that's very important. Again, it's a step, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
We emailed the governor's office last night after the meeting asking if these resolutions will prompt a special session. So far, we've gotten no response.
If a special session isn't called, Garza says they'll make their voices heard in the regular session in January. You can read the latest on KSAT.com. Now to a missing persons case with a San Antonio tie. Investigators in Harris County want you to take a good look at this picture on your screen now. They believe Jaden Maxey may be with someone here in the San Antonio area. Jaden was last seen Saturday in Cypress. If you know where Jaden is, call the Harris County Sheriff's Office Missing Persons Unit. That number also on your screen, 713-755-7427.
An update to a story we first broke here on GMSA earlier this week. Multiple break-ins leaving San Antonio card shop owners thousands of dollars short, and they're worried it'll happen again. Sports Cards Plus off Lock Hill Selma was broken into early Monday morning. The owner says just a week before, suspects tried cutting through his metal door but did not get in. Back in April, Boomtown Sports and Collectibles was also broken into. Both owners say thieves got away with upwards of $20,000 in each incident. The owners add that tracking those items is nearly impossible.
It's not good for our hobby. It's not good for the communities. It's just not good at all. I mean, it's really scary.
Cards that I bought a year ago for like $15,000 are now $80,000, $90,000.
Both places have beefed up security. Boomtown now has 24-hour video surveillance. Sports Cards Plus has added an armed guard for after hours. As for suspects, SAPD has not made any arrests. Sports Cards Plus and Crime Stoppers now offering a $20,000 reward. In the Philippines, a strong earthquake has killed at least 2 people, injuring dozens and damaged buildings. It prompted many people in the capital, including from 2 hospitals and office buildings, to run outdoors. Scientists say the 7.0 magnitude earthquake earlier this morning was centered in a mountainous area in the northern part of the country. The quake's strength was lowered from an initial 7.3 after further analysis. Scientists expect more aftershocks.
Well, some other top stories we're following for you this morning. 11 people, including 5 children, were hurt after a pickup truck crashed into a California gas station. 7 of those people who were hurt in the city were hospitalized with minor injuries. Fire officials say the truck driver was pulling a concrete pumping trailer. The crash resulted in a minor fuel spill, but there was no fire. It's still unclear what caused this crash.
Rising inflation pushing consumer confidence down again. The Conference Board says its consumer confidence index fell this month to the lowest level since February of 2021. This as the Federal Reserve wraps up its latest 2-day meeting today, expected to boost interest rates again in an effort to cut inflation. We'll have more on inflation and the state of the economy coming up in the next half hour of GMSA. Well, all the pent-up demand for travel is helping boost the books at Visa. Its profits in the latest quarter up 32% in a year to $3.4 billion. The company says it got a big boost from travelers hitting the road and spending at pre-pandemic levels.
Well, trending now, applications are open for the coveted crown of Miss Fiesta 2023. One lucky lady will receive a $5,000 scholarship and the opportunity to serve as the ambassador of Fiesta. The deadline to apply is September 13th. The winner will be crowned on February 1st during the official Fiesta poster unveiling at the Whitty Museum. We have more information on this on our website, KSAT.com.
608, actually 609, about 78 degrees.
All right, still ahead on GMSA. How would you like to get your hands on this giant crab? We'll tell you where you can get it and how much it'll cost you.
And new developments in the Elon Musk bid to buy Twitter. Board members at the social media giant are set to discuss next steps. We'll explain.
609, 78 degrees. It's going to be another triple-digit day. Mike says there is the tiniest chance for rain on Friday. He'll explain when we come back. Topping today's Tech Bites, Twitter shareholders are set to talk about Elon Musk. A meeting is set for September to discuss Musk's $44 billion takeover bid. The social media giant had urged shareholders to okay the deal. That was before Musk said this month he was backing out. And for whatever reason, Home Depot is selling this giant king crab statue on its website. It's 6 feet wide and 89 pounds. And meant to, quote, transform any home, garden, restaurant, or hotel into something truly magnificent. And it's pricey. Look at your screen, $1,539. And we looked it up. It doesn't do anything.
No, just purely decorative. And I'm surprised it's only 90 pounds. It looks like it's heavier than that.
Can you imagine like tripping over that in the middle of the night?
Well, don't keep it in the bedroom.
No, I'm saying like, what if it's like outside in the yard and you forget about it and you're coming home late, you know, and you just
That's a whole different can of worms.
It is. Oh my goodness. Okay, away from the tangent, back to 614 and checking on traffic with Justin Horn.
My question: are they making those in bulk, like to sell?
They are.
So many questions.
We'll see how many. Let's add some to your cart and see what happens.
Is this crab season or something? Is that the deal?
Anyway, gas prices. Bexar County is at $3.70. These numbers are all coming down. Texas is at $3.81. For the nation, we're at $4.30. Good to see those numbers come down at least a little bit. And as we go outside with TransGuide 410 Cherry Ridge, no issues there, 10 at the Y. We did have an accident earlier, a minor one there at the curve that has since been cleaned up. 281 Hildebrand, moving along just fine, and 35 at Randolph. Not a lot of brake lights. This has been the second morning in a row. We've had really pretty quiet conditions on our roadways. Let's hope it stays that way. And the map reveals that that spill that we were talking about earlier has since been taken off the map as well. So all looks good. Everyone at this point's moving at posted speeds, guys.
Wasn't the crab the Maryland tourism kind of logo a few years back?
Oh, for sure, and it probably still is.
Ah,
yeah. By the way, that's not the only giant statue offering at Home Depot from this company. They also have giant Buddhas. They have a giant fire hydrant, wink for dogs. Let's see, what else? A giant Easter Island statue, Bigfoot. I mean, they've got the whole
these
market
have to
cornered.
do well if they keep producing them.
Right.
I kind of like the
People
Easter
are
Island
buying
thing.
these things.
Right?
Wouldn't that be cool? Put those in your front lawn, the Easter Island?
Here's 2 lion heads for the side of your driveway, Mike. They're $275 for this set, okay?
Oh, what a deal.
I like that.
Yeah.
Justin.
I bet your HOA would be thrilled.
Yeah.
Let's buy him and put him in Justin's yard one night when he wakes up. So, all right, outside right now, it's pretty warm and humid out there, as you would expect. We're at 78 degrees, just 3 above normal, 80 at Cotulla, and mid-70s in portions of the hill country. Top number, dew point, has actually gone up slightly compared to this time yesterday, so just a bit more humidity out there, and we do have some clouds with a light breeze out of the south. And talk about enjoying the day. This is interesting when you read the caption. After being inside in the cool air all day, the sun feels really good. Yeah, I wonder how long he was kind of rolling around in the grass there until it was like, no.
You know what we call that, Mike? The reverse sploot.
The reverse sploot, okay, on your back, kind of splooting like that. So my dog will sit there and want to go out, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, and it comes right back inside, which I think most pets are doing, because obviously they don't realize how hot it is heading on out there. 47 degree, 40. Why do I keep saying it? It's wishful thinking when I say 47 degrees. Wouldn't that be nice? 47 days we've hit 100 degrees, and of course, third place, and fall goes, and it looks like there's nothing really going to stop us from continuing to rack up the triple-digit temperatures and approach the all-time record by next week, and then the second weekend, of, no, that'd be the first weekend of August. That's Sunday, I believe. Start counting your calendar, please. 101 yesterday, 107 in Cotulla, and temperatures are going to be about the same later on today. Well, most everybody's going to be right around 100 or up into the low hundreds, including most all of the metropolitan area. A couple of upper 90s here and there. And throughout the rest of the morning, we'll have some clouds hanging around here. Get up to 90 today at noon. And then, of course, like I said, top off at 100. There is that 10% chance for a stray shower or two. Wouldn't get too excited about it. Here's the rapid update computer model. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe by later on today. Again, that's going to be the extent of it. The east. Yes, it's nice to talk about that small rain chance, but most of us aren't going to be seeing a drop of rain. Pretty much the same thing tomorrow, 1 or 2 of them out there. The high, which is still sitting basically on top of us, is kind of opening up the door, at least, for the Gulf of Mexico to get some of these little waves kind of sliding on in here. So that's have these very small rain chances today, tomorrow, and maybe it goes from slight to not quite so slight on Friday, but still, again, then most of us aren't going to see a drop of rain over the next few days. 90 at noon today, partly cloudy skies, and then high temperature up to 100. 1 or 2 showers off to the east mainly. Same thing tomorrow, just hint of a better chance of a stray shower on Friday, and we'll continue, like I said, to rack up the triple-digit going into next week. And of course, it is not only hot here, but it has been hot all over. Daily high temperatures in the Pacific Northwest are hitting 20 degrees above normal, kind of like us. And in fact, the governor of Oregon has already declared a state of emergency. And it comes then on the flip side of that, historic flooding just up to the northeast of us in St. Louis, where more than a foot of rain fell in a matter of hours, breaking a century-old record. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
This morning, millions of Americans in the Pacific Northwest are for a lingering heat wave. The governor of Oregon declaring a state of emergency in 25 counties. Portland is expected to remain in the high 90s through the week.
They've opened cooling centers here in the Portland area. This could go down as their longest heat wave on record.
An excessive heat warning is in effect in Seattle, Washington, where 84% of residents have air conditioning. The city's first responders saying the heat has kept them busier than ever.
There were more 911 calls to 911 in King County than we've ever seen in the history of since we've been keeping records.
More triple-digit temperatures are expected today in Texas. The heat, along with extreme drought, is making every spark a danger. Authorities believe a grass-cutting crew ignited this fire outside Dallas, which damaged more than 25 homes. The Oak Fire has now burned more than 18,000 acres, along with 42 homes.
You see crews taking this tree down right now. They had to. So much fire damage, it was a threat to any car driving down this road. In fact, firefighters call those trees widowmakers.
Meanwhile, one person has died from historic flooding near St. Louis after more than a foot of rain fell in some areas in less than 12 hours.
911 is on the way. Oh, man, hold on.
More than 100 people were rescued across the St. Louis region as roads and apartment buildings flooded, and this train almost completely underwater. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Of course, a reminder, if it's too hot for you outside, it's definitely too hot for you and your pets, rather. San Antonio Animal Care Services says they have seen more than a 20% increase in neglect calls, primarily tied to the extreme heat here.
It's going to be fall pretty soon. Or not, the weather will improve and you'll be able to go out and have a good time with the dog. It's better to stay home now.
Completely. Pets should also not be left in the back of a pickup truck ever, as the bed can get extraordinarily hot. Try to take them out for walks early in the morning or in the evening when the pavement has turned cooler.
It is 6:21 and 77 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA, latest from Oxnard. Cowboys training camp. We'll have the latest coming up after the break.
Think Dad's searching doggy diet plans for Josie? No, he's switching his choice cashback category to home improvement, so he earns more on a new doggy door, extra large.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
New Astapro Allergy, now available without a prescription. Astapro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free spray. While other allergy sprays take hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
In this morning's GMA First Look, honeymoon murder mystery. The man accused of killing his wife on their honeymoon appearing before a judge.
So there are a lot of unanswered questions as to how and why this happened.
An attorney for Christy Chen's family telling GMA the 36-year-old met Bradley Dawson last November, just months before the Memphis area couple married in February. He says their trip to the South Pacific was a delayed honeymoon that turned to horror.
There was a violent altercation which resulted in death.
Dawson not yet entering a plea, but ordered to remain behind bars. We'll have much more on this mystery in paradise coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Cowboys camp underway in California. The team will hold their first official practice later today. Comes after the State of the Cowboys address yesterday with head coach Mike McCarthy. Cowboys Vice President Stephen Jones leading the way, and owner Jerry Jones not far behind. So here's a look at the schedule for this week for the Cowboys. Let's take a look at that. Today is first practice. Saturday is an opening ceremony. Then on Sunday, the KSAT sports team will be live with Jerry Jones on instant replay. So check that out. And our sports team, of course, in Oxnard all week long. Look for more coverage today on our later newscasts.
626 and 77 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA, have you ever tried a do-it-yourself project and failed? Well, we have some tips for fixing bad DIY jobs around the house.
And checking TransGuide right now, the sun is slowly starting to come up. We're looking at 281 and Grayson. We can even see down on Broadway below. We'll check in with Justin Horn about your morning commute on this Wednesday. Glad you're with us. New details out of Uvalde this morning. We'll tell you about the call to investigate every city police officer who responded to the massacre at Robb Elementary School.
San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers need your help solving a handful of cases, and you could get a reward. We'll have those details.
Outside with live cam, fast approaching our 50th day, over 100 degrees in the Alamo City. We'll talk to Mike in just a moment.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 27th. So happy to be here on GMSA during the week, and thank you so much for waking up with us.
Let's go straight to Mike. You get an update on how things are standing right now. We know it's about 77 degrees out at the airport right now.
Yep, everybody's mid-upper 70s around most of the area, a couple of degrees above normal. Actually, a little bit warmer. You know, yesterday it was cool. We got down to 75 actually, but a little more humidity, a little warmer, and a lot of clouds out there. They'll be sticking around throughout the rest of the morning hours, and temperature officially at the airport says 78, dew points at 72, which means there's a fair amount of humidity out there. You'll notice it when you step outside this morning. Again, that light breeze out of the south, and a couple of lighter spots as the sun is thinking about coming over the horizon right now. And heat index, yeah, enough humidity to make it feel like 80 at the airport, 82 Castroville, 81 down the road at Stinson. Mold is on the low side. It did come down yesterday from the previous day's reading, and warm, humid. It's got some clouds out there once again this morning, and then 100 again today. So today will be day number 48, and there is a small chance, and I really don't want you to get too excited about this, a small chance for a shower off to the east later on tomorrow. Today, same thing tomorrow, should say. And then by Friday, a couple of showers, primarily off to the east, maybe a little bit better chance for a shower. But again, most of us aren't going to be seeing anything. And then it is still going to be hot going into the weekend. So we'll continue to rack up the triple digits all the way through the end of July. Details on the weekend coming up in a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority right now. Justin, what is the latest, sir?
Thank you, Mike. I just had a random thought. When and if it does rain again, these roads are going to be so slick because of all the dust and oil that is collected over this hot summer. When it rains again, of course, that's going to be the big question. But as Mike said, there's a couple small chances mixed in there. 21 Hildebrand looks good. 35 at Randolph. Volume is starting to pick up as far as amount of cars in the road, but we still haven't seen a whole lot of brake lights, and that's a good indication that everything is rolling along smoothly for the early morning commuters. Again, we peak here in about another hour or so, so there may be some slowdowns ahead. But looking at all the TransGuide video right now, looks good, and the map shows the same. We've got green just about anywhere you go on our major freeways. There's going to be a couple slowdowns where there's some construction, the spots, especially I-35, 1604, but otherwise pretty good looking morning commute. Hopefully it stays that way the rest of the morning, guys.
Thank you, Justin. New this morning, crews are trying to figure out what sparked a fire at the southwest side home. It happened around 3:15 this morning on Stony Brook Drive near Medina Base Road. Firefighters say by the time they got there, the house had already been taken over by flames. No one inside at the time and no one was hurt. Crews say the home is most likely a total loss.
San Antonio police officers searching for suspects in a shooting on the city's east side. Happened last night around 10. Police say there was a hail of gunfire towards a home on Ravina Street near Loop 410 in Rigsby. According to investigators, a man in his driveway was in his driveway when he was hit in both kneecaps and in the hip. Police believe the shooters used a rifle. We'll have more updates on this story as it becomes available.
Now to Uvalde, where the city council there is vowing to investigate every city police officer who responded to the massacre at Robb Elementary. We have learned the Uvalde police officers who responded to the scene will be interviewed by the council's lead investigator. Uvalde police officers were some of the first to arrive at the school the day of the shooting. The Department of Public Safety is leading this criminal investigation.
And a remarkable tribute that the Uvalde Coyotes high school football team has come up with in order to pay tribute to those who lost their lives in the school shooting at Robb Elementary. The team will honor the team will honor the 21 lives lost by wearing the number 21 jersey in every game starting this coming season. That's according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. Linebacker Justin Rendon will have the honor as a senior this year. Then we'll pass it along to another senior next year who represents the program and Uvalde's community values.
San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers are looking for your help in solving a handful of cases. The first one involving a robbery at an Academy store on the city's northwest side. It happened on July 17th at the store location on Bandera Road, just inside Loop 1604 and I-10. That's where officers say the man on your screen pulled out a weapon and took off with items from the shelves. The next case involves a robbery on San Antonio's northeast side. It happened back in April on Mid-Crown Drive near Walsham Road. Investigators say this man on your screen was sitting in his vehicle when the suspect, pictured here, pointed a handgun at him, stole some of his items, and then took off with the victim's vehicle. Finally, the last case happened in December of last year at the intersection of Aldama and South General McMullen. That's where police say 59-year-old Adon Vidial was riding his bicycle when he was hit by a vehicle and died at the scene. The driver then took off. If you have any information that can help officers solve any of these cases, you're asked to call that number on your screen. It's there right now, 210-224-STOP. You could get a reward of up to $5,000.
Top of your morning consumer headlines. The major decision today regarding your money. The cost of borrowing is expected to increase again as the Federal Reserve raises key interest rates. It's all in an attempt to stop the rising cost of just about everything. ABC's Mona Kassar Abdi has the details.
This morning, the Federal Reserve is expected to stay on its aggressive path toward fighting America's record high inflation by raising interest rates for the fourth time this year. The Fed is likely to increase interest rates 0.75 of a point, the same as last month's rate hike. That means for the average credit card balance of $5,010, today's hike would cost an extra $283 in interest before it's paid off. Payments would also be higher for anyone borrowing to buy a car or a home, though it would only affect people buying after the rate hike. The Fed's goal is to slow the economy down by making borrowing more expensive, which should bring down inflation. Now, some signs previous rate hikes are having an impact. Walmart cut its profit outlook, saying customers are spending less. And gas prices are falling fast. The average price of a gallon is now $4.32, down 58 cents from 1 month ago. Yesterday, the president's top economic advisor would not say if he believes inflation has peaked.
The reduction in gas prices that you've seen over the last couple of weeks is providing some measure of breathing room. Not enough, but some measure of breathing room.
Another bright spot, prices for airline travel are dropping significantly. The average airfare for a round-trip domestic flight this fall is only $298, down from May when the average fare topped $400. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
Now to the Mega Millions drawing that has a lot of people buzzing this morning because no one won that big jackpot, and that means it's growing.
If you didn't get a ticket, don't worry, still have time. Jonathan Cota joins us live with the details. Good morning, Jonathan. Did you get tickets for the drawing last night?
Good morning, Mark. And I sure did. You know, I waited patiently for those numbers to show up in my favor, but clearly I did not win. And nobody else for that matter. The next estimated jackpot is at a $1.02 billion. So there's still a chance for folks out there to get their tickets and be a winner. Now, let's talk about why it's grown so much. And that's because nobody has won. The new estimated jackpot has grown because the 6 selected numbers haven't won, and this is since April 15th. That's 29 drawings in a row without a big winner. The lucky numbers Tuesday night were 0, 7, 2, 9, 6, 0, 6, 3, 6, 6, Mega Ball 15. But let's talk about the odds of winning that jackpot. The chances are 1 in 302.5 million. Now, we know Mega Millions is played across the country, 45 states to be exact, but there's a lot to it than just a chance at becoming mega rich. Since 1997, the Texas Lottery has contributed more than $20 billion to the Foundation School Fund that supports public education here in Texas. Some lottery revenues benefit state programs, including the Fund for Veterans Assistance. Texas Lottery says it's contributed more than $187 million to Texas veterans. So listen, none of us have won. At least we know we're contributing to a good cause. So now it's time to just go out and purchase those tickets. I hope you, Mark, and Sarah have got yours. Reporting live, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Going now to the coronavirus cases here in San Antonio, they continue to be an issue.
Right now, Metro Health confirming 778 new cases. No new deaths are being reported. 342 COVID patients are in local hospitals.
According to doctors, the new variants of the virus are more contagious and say vaccines are limiting the severity of the disease.
A reminder, our KSAT community partners are holding a vaccine phone bank today. It will be your chance to call and ask about vaccines as students prepare to go back to school.
We'll have University Health here to answer all of your questions. The phone bank is from 5 to 7 this evening. We'll also share that number a little later on air and online.
Right now, 640, about 78 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, some tips for fixing bad DIY jobs around the house. All right, usually do-it-yourself projects at home are meant to help save money. However, sometimes they don't go as planned. It can often be difficult to fix your mistakes.
Anything you want to share with the class?
No.
Okay. However, there are some easy ways to avoid and help patch up bad DIY projects. First, unsuccessful plumbing repair is one of the most common mistakes. If you suspect a leak in your sink, make sure to check your drainage joints are watertight.
And you can place a paper towel under the sink, wait an hour, and you'll be able to see if there is a leak. If there is a leak, call a pro immediately to make sure the plumbing repair is done correctly and quickly. And put oil down your sink and only put food down sinks that have garbage disposals.
Next, bathroom DIY projects can go bad quickly. Careful.
Bathroom tile needs to be watertight, which requires meticulous attention to detail and can make DIY installation extra tricky. If the tile tub or shower isn't installed properly, it can cause water damage to other structures in the bathroom. Unfortunately, the only way to fix incorrectly placed tile is to start from scratch.
Yikes. Thanks, Rachel. Finally, electrical wiring gone wrong is one of the worst DIY mistakes you can make. It's dangerous and should always be left up to professionals.
If you suspect there are problems in your home related to the electrical system, call a professional electrician immediately to make sure the job gets done correctly. I say plumbers, electricians, just call them.
Always
leave it to them.
Call.
I woke up with about an inch of water in my house this morning.
From you think it's an AC problem,
AC
right?
leak. I was shop backing at 2:30 this morning, so hopefully I can get my AC.
And still made it on time.
Woo! Look at that.
Good job. All right, 6:45 right now on your Wednesday morning.
That's impressive. That sounds like a lot of work, Sarah. Hopefully it gets cleaned up soon. Let's take a look at US 90 and 36. We do have some flashing lights here. This is a Hero vehicle, looks like, and we do have a stalled car there on the shoulder. Shouldn't be a big issue. Looks like cars are getting around it just fine. That's on the exit coming off of US 90 there at 36. That's not the only flashing lights we're seeing, though. The rest of the map looks good this morning. A lot of green to show you, so everyone's moving right along for that morning commute. Let's take a look at some more TransGuide shots, and most everything looks pretty good at this point. 410 at Austin Highway, no issues there. 410 at Starcrest, good looking commute, at least for now. Traffic is starting to pick up a little bit. 90 at Medio Creek looks good too, guys.
Oh, real quick, back to Lotto. I was driving in this morning, and I said this way early in the newscast, but the Lotto tote board that you see that show the totals for Powerball and Mega, it only goes up to $9.99. So I was like, oh, so it's just under $1 billion. No, it's over. It just doesn't fit.
They don't have that extra.
It's kind of like 99 degrees versus 100. Does it really matter when you're up that high? I mean,
no, not really.
Okay.
Nope. Yep.
You were shop vacuuming water and you're still smiling this morning?
Oh. I had a lot of coffee.
She's smiling on the outside.
It's kind of that like crazy smile, or just like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, see, that's the Sarah look right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be spitting nails if that.
Oh, I was not happy this morning.
Where was hubby?
Woke him up and said, okay, I'm sorry, I've done this. Now you have to continue and deal with it. So.
Good morning, sunshine.
We'll find out when I get home.
Okay, sitting outside watching the cactus, and they love the heat, and then watching the lawn cook. And yeah, if there's any lawn left in your backyard. But thank you, beautiful picture. I love that. A little gathering of cacti there. So beautiful. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. And we've got clouds hanging around here, kind of like looks like what it did yesterday. Morning clouds, a lot more sunshine. Of course, yesterday we did hit 101, 103 Pleasanton, 107 in Cotulla. And today's numbers are going to be about the same. One or two extra clouds, especially off to the east, but we'll still continue to rack up triple-digit readings and make it up to day number 48 as far as the number that we've hit so far officially out there at the airport. 80 at 8 o'clock this morning, and we'll keep some of the morning clouds around here. Make it up to 90 at noon, and then again 100 later on today. There's that 10% chance for a stray shower. Don't get really excited about it. Computer models, one or two of them out there later on today. This is going to be, again, few and far between, but at least there's a slight bit of that of a chance for some rain, and that's going to be the situation tomorrow with one or two of those showers out there. And the reason for it is, so we've got the high pressure, which is pretty much sitting in the same spot that it has been, perhaps weakening ever so slightly, and also just far enough up to the north that around this clockwise rotation, we're looking at some of these little waves to try and come on in here. We call them easterly waves, some other names for them as well, coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. Not huge rain producers, but at least it's enough of a sort of a weakness in the atmosphere, if you will, that's what's going to give us that slight chance for a couple of showers around here. So that'll be the case into Friday as well, and maybe Friday evening. Then go back into the weekend. It looks like the high is going to start to strengthen up, sort of come together, covering most of the southern portion of the country. And then that's going to be the situation going into next week as well, with high pressure sitting on top of us. So that means we remain at triple-digit range all the way through into the first week of August. 90 at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature today, 100. One or two of those showers off to the east. Same thing tomorrow, just again, a 10% chance. You count them on one hand, basically. I think maybe 10, 15%, close to 20% chance for a shower Friday evening. Again, most of us don't see any rain at all, and we continue to rack up the triple digits. So by Friday, that will be day number 50, and then by next Sunday would be day number 59, and that would tie for the most ever. I mean, really, long-range computers, sometimes they want to try and scare up something way down the road, but how many times have we talked about that in the past couple of months? So 2 weeks from now, it looks like it's going to be 2 weeks from now. So
I'm anxious to end July, but we're going to jump right into the same thing in August.
I wonder in August if it's going to be like more of like we're excited just to have 100 degrees and not like 105 degrees.
It's kind of like gas prices. They were way up here. Now they're just up here. They've gone down a little bit. But
either way, it stinks, right?
Where it was 2 years ago.
You can't win.
You got a point. Thank you, Mike. 650, about 78 degrees.
Good morning, I'm Jonathan Cotto. There are two serious issues our military men and women are facing right now, and that is unemployment and underemployment. Tomorrow on GMSA, we'll tell you exactly what we mean by underemployment and what resources are available for our transitioning men and women and military veterans.
All right, like Mike said, it's going to be another hot one. If you have errands or things to do outside, do them early in the morning if you can. Drink lots of water, wear the sunscreen, big hat, stay safe out there.
In your GMA First Look, the Tennessee man accused of killing his wife on their honeymoon has made his first court appearance. Look for this story and more coming up at 7, right here on KSAT 12. A reminder, our KSAT community partners are holding a vaccine phone bank today. It'll be your chance to call and ask about vaccines as students prepare to go back to school.
We'll have University Health here to answer their questions. The phone bank is from 5 to 7 this evening. Of course, we'll share that number a little bit later on air and online.
Right now, it's a secret. Coming up on today on GMSA at 9, while the baby formula shortage in the U.S. is getting better, it could take a while before it is completely resolved.
One local nonprofit has been helping families in need through this difficult time, and today, Tiffany Huertas is going to tell us about a free event going on for families who still are in need of formula.
Plus, a local mom getting ready to cycle cross country to raise money for cancer research. Max Massey will share that story and what is motivating him to take the journey.
Those stories and more today at GMSA at 9.
Let's check on traffic. Here's 5 till. Here's Justin.
Still looking good, guys, even though we're getting into the heart of the commute here. All the TransSky cameras look great. We're not seeing any big slowdowns anywhere here. 410 at Austin Highway looks good. Also, as we get out to 410 at Starcrest, smooth going there. There is a stall there, but isn't causing any issues. 90 at Meadow Creek. And we did detect a stall also at 90 and 36, but that isn't causing issues either. Does look like we have some clouds out there, though, Mike, starting to build in.
Yeah, those morning clouds, and then they'll be breaking up by later on today. A couple of thin spots, if you will. And temperatures right now still pretty warm and humid. 78 degrees, 76 Divine, 78 Stinson, as well as Canyon Lake. And then, of course, with the humidity, it feels warmer than that. We will make it up to 90 at noon, 100 high temperature, a shower or two. Literally, that'll be about it. Later on this afternoon, primarily off to the east. Same thing tomorrow. Pretty much same thing Friday. More triple digits to wind up the month of July.
Justin, Mike, thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you back here for GMSA at 9.
Good Morning America is coming up next, right here on KSAT 12.